So I was in Afghanistan. I got readmitted to West Point. This is the best story, actually. Okay. So look, the whole thing about Army mentorship is that everybody that you come in contact with has to sign off on you and like that they would follow you. All these questions: would you follow this person in combat? Would you know? Do you trust them? Are they honorable? All this stuff. Now that puts me in a really, really powerless position. I'm a private first class in the Army. I'm a West Point like kick out, drop out kid. Well, let's be serious. Like I'm Black and in the infantry. Like I won't do that too much, but it is important to note because anybody who's been in this environment has to understand that like that is not a great position to be in.
Right.
That's just not a great position to be in. Like, right. Because now everybody's got their, like my life in their hands. They're like, oh, so you got your life in our hands? Like, this is lit. It's like, I was like a little like play toy. Like, oh, this is amazing. We get to like abuse an officer for like a year.
Right.
Like he can't do shit about it. And like he has to like stay silent because he needs us to like sign off. So we can definitely do the whole like just take it.
That almost sounds worse. That almost sounds like worse than Ranger School. You know, like when in terms of like not getting peered. I mean, this feels like
I have a better Ranger School story than this story. This is a good story. I'm sorry, but like,
no, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So this whole situation, because this was like some real like my life is in your hands. Ranger School is different. My dreams were in people, like, you know. Like, exactly.
You're at the mercy of the people.
This was really like, oh shit, like I really have to like survive. Like I really have to have these people like not try to get me killed, right? Like that's like a real thing though. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was really, anyways, it was rough, but nonetheless, we weathered the storm. Everything was good. Got back into West Point, and I was okay. This is the type of stuff they were doing. So I was only in Afghanistan for like 3 months, right? Because I had to go back to West Point in like May. So we got to Afghanistan like late January. We get to Afghanistan, it's haywire. It's early 2012. It's when that dude from Fort Lewis went and killed all those civilians. The whole place was on fire. It was terrible. It was like, oh man, I was like, this is the worst. And think about this. I'm like 4 months from going back to West Point. I've been out of the academy for like 20 months, man, like doing my dues, like doing the whole thing. I understand. I've been all enlightened. I'm like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? All I got to do is just like make it out of Afghanistan. Then I get there and it's like the world's on fire. I'm like, oh my gosh, like,
yeah,
this is like the ultimate crucible of all time. Like, what is going on? I was like, I swear to you, like right now, I was like, I will never do anything wrong on purpose, like ever. That was like one of my things. Like, I was like, I swear. So I guess for the rehabilitation or whatever, again, I wasn't being a bad guy, but I was just like being a kid. But I got real serious. I was like, okay, this is a serious thing. But anyways, we went on this mission and it was really, really rough. Lost a couple of dudes. And I came back and I prayed. So got into West Point. Well, I was only there for 3 months, so they would do shit like this. They'd be like, okay, well, Adams is only going to be here a third of the deployment, so you can do like 3 times the work while you're here.
Oh, jeez.
We'd have like 4-hour guard shifts, right? 4-hour guard shifts, and I'd be like, you got a 12-hour shift. I'm in 3 slots. Like, yo, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, y'all gonna do it like that? That's whack. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, no.
But, okay. All types of stuff like that, bro. Just all types of goofy stuff, so. It was just like being hazed the whole time. But whatever, man. Like, again, unrelenting focus, bro. I don't care about none of that. I'm going back. You know, all my boys already graduated. You know what I mean? No. No. And so anyways, I prayed. I was like, oh, so no. I'm in the turret one day. It's the day I'm supposed to find out about the West Point stuff. And we got, you know, Wi-Fi on the base. So I'm in the turret. Like at the gate center, and I like get on my phone, pull it up, get the email, like congratulations, blah, blah, blah. Like, no! But like you gotta look at this, like you gotta zoom out. This is like some Star Wars shit. I'm in like Afghanistan. It's just me in the turret, like no one in the world cares. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's
everyone's doing the thing, and all of a sudden there you go, boom, yeah.
Like only me. I'm like, yes, like yes. And I had to sit in that turret for 12 more hours. And honestly, it was an exhilarating 12 hours. It was amazing. It was like one of the best days. I was just like, whew. But then what happened was I had to leave though. So like that's just like one part of it. It was like, okay, yeah, cool. So then I'm like emailing everybody, like, okay, like I got back in, like, okay, can I like stop going on patrol? Because the problem where we're at is like pressure plate IEDs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, bro, we go on patrol every day, and like we really are losing people and losing legs and shit. And I'm really just trying not to lose mine. Like I will go, of course, but like I'm just at the end of this thing, I'm just trying to get back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's so difficult, like, even as I'm thinking about it, it's like so difficult to try to express like how complicated of a situation that is, of like my friends are here, we lost friends, like, but I gotta go back. But I'm not even going back to not be in the same thing. I'm just going over here. So it's not like there's not people who live in the middle of deployment. That's like a normal thing. Like people do it. But still, it's like, anyways, man, I prayed, man. I was like, God, I swear I will try to be the like nicest, coolest, bestest. I would just try like so hard though. Like that was my promise, was just like, yo, I swear, like I'll just like commit the whole shit. If you can get me out of here in one piece, bro.
Right.
Please, like please, like please, like please, like yo. So like 2 days later, man, everybody was getting ready for this like death mission, man. It was like I just remember, I'll never forget the feeling on the cop was just so like dark, and everybody was just like, it was like some real like everybody's gonna die tonight type shit. It was like, yo, y'all gotta chill. It was like, but then there was like, it came down and there was like 5 people that weren't gonna go, and I'm like, please, like, yo, please, like, I gotta go. At this point I've already been patrolling for another like 6 weeks after I got back into school. So like every day I'm just like, bro, please, like, anyways. They come in, they're like, hey, Adams, you're not going. I'm like, all right, cool. Then like 2 hours later, my commander comes in the office and he's like, yo, Adams, are your bags packed? And I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, all right, you're leaving.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what? I was like, what? So I went and got my shit. I had to like wait my friends up. I'm like, yo, I gotta go. Like, boom, go to the big base. I'm like, I'm like, yes, like this is amazing. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. I'm like, I'm hitting my like class ring rep. Like I like ordered my ring. Like, you know, I'm like,
yes.
This has been so long. Like, it's crazy. Like, I'm just like, whoa, like kind of like a load, you know, load off, go to my room, go to sleep. Wake up the next morning, I like go to log on the Wi-Fi, get on the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi goes like black, like, you know, and I'm like, dang, like what's going on? So then I'm like, oh shit, like we had the mission last night, like, oh, like nipper blackout, like no, like snap. So I put my uniform on, I run to the battalion and talk to go see my battalion commander. I get there. Somber.
And real quick, for those not familiar, anytime there's a internet blackout, when you're deployed, that typically means people are injured or you know, or died, unfortunately. So anyways, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so nipper blackout. So I run to the battalion. I get to the battalion, somber. You know, you just like get there, everybody's like, no, we got helicopters in the distance, smoke. I'm like, they come in, they're like, yo, Adams, you're in battle company, right? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah. Sit down. Oh man, there's like a couple of phrases in my life that like I hate to hear, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody tells you sit down, it's never good. Nothing comes after that. That's great, man. So we found out like 2 of my platoon mates got like stepped on IED, got blown up. One of them died that night. Another one died in the hospital a couple like I guess like a week later. And it was crazy because I talked to my battalion commander. He like, you know, and this is a surreal moment too, right? Like I'm a private, right? So I know these people. You know what I'm saying? This is where I'm at. This is like where I stand, like, right? And, you know, my battalion commander, like, he's a great dude. He doesn't tell these people up. So he's like, yo, you know these dudes? Like, can you, like, tell me about them so I can, like, talk to their families? And it's just like, yo, that shit is crazy just, like, to understand the whole dichotomy, right? But right then and there, after that, I talked to him about it, and he was like, yo, I got you a helicopter. And I left that day. And I'm telling you, bro, I'll never forget the video footage in my mind of like lifting off from this helicopter to leave from Zari district to go to CAF to like go back to America. And as soon as it lifted off, it was like that was the moment that I was like, well, I guess that's the thing. So I guess that's the thing. So like that was a real life changing moment for me where it really turned a corner for me that I felt like part of my whole life is like committed to try to teach and help others and just be a resource and to try to free people's minds and to try to help people do their thing because like I made a promise and that's real. And like I'm telling you, like the circumstances that we're in, I don't know people's spiritual, whatever. I don't care. I'm just telling you that since that day, you know, a lot of the things that I'm able to do and a lot of the stuff that I have, you know, there's a certain level of discernment or I feel like, you know, kind of almost a spiritual push for me about what are the things that are right to do or right to say or to,
Right.
and I'm always trying to tap into that on a regular basis. And that's one of the ways that I try to remain present is to remain present, to remain open, to be, to understand that, hey, this thing that I'm trying to bring about, it has a larger thing. And I'll talk about nesting in a little bit, but yeah, you know, just about how I get all this stuff done is like, you know, it's all in together for a singular purpose. And so while it seems like a lot of different things, it's actually one thing that is being represented by many things, right? And that thing is trying to build opportunity, a stage, a platform, and the ability to help people at large and doing some of the things that we're talking about earlier about with the kids about freeing the minds and these other things. So that's kind of I'll take a break from that for a minute. So that's kind of like that whole story. And then I went back to West Point and boom, 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 did a great job.